What's happening, ITP? Paranormal Phil here, and I'm so glad you joined me for another episode of
Into the Paranormal.
So if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below to get notified when I post my next video. Also, if you like this video and all those to come, be sure to give it a like. So let's get into some urban legends. The first urban legend we're going to talk about are black-eyed children. Now, black-eyed children or black-eyed kids are an urban legend of supposed paranormal creatures that resemble children between the ages of 6 and 16 with pale skin, black eyes, and who are reportedly seen hitchhiking or panhandling or are encountered on doorsteps of residential homes. Tales of black-eyed children have appeared in pop culture since the late 1990s. Now, I'm sure we've all heard of this next urban legend called Bloody Mary. Now, Bloody Mary is a folklore legend consisting of a ghost or spirit conjured to reveal the future. She is said to appear in a mirror when her name is called multiple times. The Bloody Mary apparition may be benign or malevolent, depending on historic variations of the legend. Bloody Mary appearances are mostly witnessed in groups participation games. So the next urban legend is the curse of the Bambino. Which, if you're a Boston Red Sox fan, you know this all too well. Now, the curse of the Bambino was a superstition involving the failure of the Boston Red Sox baseball team to win a World Series in the 86-year period from 1918 to 2004. Now, while some fans took the curse seriously, most used the expression in a tongue-in-cheek manner. Now, another urban legend that you probably heard of is Slenderman. Slenderman is a fictional character that originated as an internet meme created by Something Awful Forums user Victor Surge in 2009. It is depicted as resembling a thin, unnaturally tall man with a blank and unusually featureless face and wearing a black suit. The Slender Man is commonly said to stalk, abduct, or traumatize people, particularly children. The Slender Man is not tied to any particular story, but appears in many desperate works of fiction, most commonly composed online. The next urban legend is the Vanishing Hitchhiker, or variations such as the ghostly hitchhiker, the disappearing hitchhiker, or the phantom hitchhiker, or simply just the hitchhiker. Now, the Vanishing Hitchhiker story is an urban legend in which people traveling by vehicle meet with or are accompanied by a hitchhiker who subsequently vanishes without explanation, often from a moving vehicle. Vanishing hitchhikers have been reported for centuries, and the story is found across the world in many variants. The popularity and endurance of the legend has helped it spread into popular culture. So this next urban legend is a little bit creepy. The urban legend is the dog lick, or humans can lick too. Now, in this legend, A little girl was woken up one night by the sound of water dripping from a tap. She got up, turned off the tap, and went back to bed, letting her arm fall over the side of the bed as usual, so that her dog could come and lick her fingers. The scene repeated several times until the girl realized that the dripping was not coming from the tap. Eventually, she discovered that the source of the sound was her dead dog dripping with blood, hidden in the cupboard with a note bearing the words, "Humans can lick too." So this next urban legend you probably never heard of, or at least until the trailer came out for the movie for it. And that is the urban legend of La Llorona. Now, La Llorona, or also known as the Weeping Woman, is the story of a poor Mexican woman who married a rich Spaniard. After they had children, the Spaniard started losing interest in his wife and was embarrassed to be married to a woman without prestige. In a rage, the woman took all of her children to the river and drowned them, thinking that would appease the Spaniard. But she was instantly hit with regret. She started screaming, "Mis hijos, mis hijos," which means "my children," and please forgive me for my Spanish, it's not that great. People say that to this day, La Llorona wanders the riverbanks looking for her children. If La Llorona finds any children near the river alone, she lures them into the water and drowns them. The next urban legend is that of Charlie No Face. Now, children living in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area tell tales of Charlie No Face, sometimes also called the Green Man. It's said Charlie was an utility worker disfigured in a horrible accident. Some versions of the legend say it was acid. Some say it was electrical power lines. In some versions, the accident turned his skin green. But in every variation, Charlie's face was melted off. According to the lore, he wanders in the dark, foreboding places like old abandoned railways, access tunnels to the South Park Township, often referred to as the Green Man Tunnel. For years, local teens have driven into the tunnel awaiting sightings of Charlie No Face. Many say that they have felt an electrical charge from his presence and had problems getting their car to start back up after calling out him. Others have claimed to see his glowing ghost in the tunnel or along rural routes at night. As it turns out, there is a tragic truth behind this old legend, where the idea of a man working for the power company came from is anyone's guess, but Charlie No Face was actually Raymond Robertson. Back in 1919, Raymond and his friends were playing around an electrified trolley bridge, and Raymond ended up being electrocuted. His nose was burnt off, one of his arms and both of his eyes were scorched, but he did survive. Raymond spent the rest of his life keeping to himself, only venturing out for walks at night. But he was friendly and willing to socialize a bit when stopped by friendly passerby. So the next urban legend is a mostly widely told urban legend, and that is of the Hook Man. Now, the Hook It has many variations. Each is a bit more gruesome than the last, but the tale is it in its purest form begins with a couple making out in a car parked on Lover's Lane. The radio crackles, a news report interrupts the romance to tell listeners an escaped killer with a hook for a hand is on the loose. The couple just so happens to be in range of the lunatic, so the girl insists they go home at once. The boy is irritated but peels out and takes her home. Upon arrival, the couple exits the car to find a bloody hook dangling from the handle of the passenger side door handle. Whether the couple makes it home safely or the boy ends up dead dangling from a tree with the girl listening to the sound of his fingers scraping on the roof of the car, it's no coincidence these tales spread like wildfire in the 1950s, right after the real-life moonlight murders plagued Texarkana in 1946. It is fair to say that the Texarkana moonlight murders gave birth to the Hookman legend that has been considered by many to be more than a cautionary tale to discourage teens from having sex. Wearing a sack with eye holes cut out over his head, the killer brutally murders couples parked in their cars at night. Terrified residents scamper home before curfew each night as authorities on both the Arkansas and Texas side of the state line struggle to identify the elusive phantom killer, but they never did. The killings stopped as quickly as they began, and the phantom disappeared into the night. Now, the last urban legend I'm going to talk about in this video is from the state of Alabama, called the Dead Children's Playground. Now, you've probably seen videos from this, or maybe you haven't, but here is why this urban legend is creepy. The Erie Playground adjacent to Maple Hill, Huntsville's oldest cemetery, doesn't just have an eerie nickname for fun. The playground was presumably designed to entertain kids while their parents visit the graves of loved ones. Legend has it, though, that the spirits of children who have been buried in the cemetery since the first grave was dug there in 1822 come out to play at night. The living have observed orbs of light going down the slide, seen swings moving on their own, and even heard giggling. Creepier still, some say the spirits include victims of a rash of child murders that happened in the 60s, when bodies were rumored to have been found in the area that now houses the playground. Now, where did this urban legend come from? Well, the playground itself wasn't open till 1985, so you can imagine how much pent-up energy the tiny spirits had after 163 years without a slide. In 2007, the city tried to raise the park to make more room for graves and remove the slides and swings overnight. After public outcry, it was replaced with more modern equipment making it slightly less creepy to look at, and also probably resulting in some happier ghosts. So I hope you enjoyed this look at some of the urban legends out there, and hopefully none of them come true for you. So, with that being said, I want to mention that Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, I am on the radio with Talk in the Night. You can find information on my talk radio show at talkinthe.night.weebly.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/talkinthe.night. Also, next week on this YouTube channel here, I am gonna be posting some scary ghost stories. Now, if you want to be a part of this, send me a short, no more than 5-minute, no, let's make it 2-minute ghost story that you have, and if I choose that video, it will be posted here on this YouTube channel. Once again, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell down below to get notified when I post my next video, and be sure to hit the like. Thank you again, and Halloween is slowly approaching, so I shall see you on the dark side. Good night.